Hello everybody and welcome back. Thank you as always for joining me on my channel. So today we are going to talk about the 2020 C8 mid-engine Corvette, and we have some really cool news. We finally have seen the car out in public once again. It's actually been quite a while since we've seen it pictured, photographed, or videoed out in the wild, so it's kind of nice to actually see it pop up recently. So I wanted to actually share some of the photos that we've seen with you guys and go over some of the new details that we have regarding the photos. And as always, you're watching Full Throttle Drive. Now, it has been quite a while since we've actually seen any new evidence about the C8 mid-engine Corvette, whether that be video or photographs. We're not really sure why that's the case. Now, it could be due to the electrical issues that have been rumored to be plaguing the C8 mid-engine Corvette, but we're not sure. I did make a video not long ago talking about that, but again, those are just rumors. We don't actually have any collective evidence to prove that being the case. However, it is true that we have not seen anything new for a while, but finally that has changed and we do have some new photos that were just taken recently. So just a quick reminder that I get most of my information that I share with you guys on these videos from the MidEngineCorvette forum. It's a great forum with a good group of guys that share the latest and greatest information about Corvettes, and usually particularly the C8 mid-engine Corvette. But if you guys are curious and ever want to check it out, I will put a link in the description below so you guys can do so. Now, first off, I do want to thank R. Hearn505. He is the individual that supplied all of these great photos that we're going to see today. So thank you again for providing these. It does look like the car was spied in Port Hearn. It says that that's about an hour north of Detroit. It's just south of the southern terminus of Lake Huron, just across from Sarnia, Ontario. So that is again where the car was actually spied, and a lot of these photos were taken. As we check out this first photo, we can see that there are two individuals in the car, someone in the driver, but more so we can see the person in the passenger. There's a little bit of a glare on the glass, but other than that, we're seeing still about the same camo look as the previous photos that we've seen. However, it has changed in several ways. The first thing I want to take a look at though is at the front. We are seeing some sort of lip, and I'm not exactly sure what this is. I've gone through the forums and seen what a lot of the people have to say about the car. Even FVS has given us a little bit of insight on the car and what his thoughts are, but this little lip we're not really sure. And again, you can see it right at the front, and that could be just from the camo. They could have little pieces under the camo. We've talked about this before. They do all types of different things to throw off the angle, the look, just the overall look of the car in general. So we're not really sure what that is, but actually if we move up from there, the headlight. Now this headlight, you can see some sort of LED strip, and it may make you think of the C7 Corvette, the LED strip on their headlights, but it actually is a little bit different from what I'm seeing. And again, I could be seeing this wrong. I'm seeing it almost on the inside, whereas the LED strip on a C7 Corvette headlight is actually on the outer side of the headlight. So it looks like it's different, which means we could get a completely different headlamp style unit than previous generations. Now, another thing to note on this side of the car is the wheels. Obviously, the wheels stand out to you a little bit. And we've actually seen this style before, but these are all blacked out. I've seen the style, but usually there's like either a chrome or titanium look to them, not all blacked out like this. So they have changed the coloring, but again, we've seen this specific style before. Now, the middle of the car is where, to me, and from what I've read, we're getting the most difference. Maybe the rear of the car too, which we'll get to, but the side, certainly. We're seeing the side rocker, the sill area, definitely is changed from previous photos that we've seen, and we're also seeing the door. It doesn't have the same setup for the side air intake. So first, usually in previous, especially even the renders, we're seeing the side air intake run up all the way where we believe there's a door handle under it. It kind of has one sweeping long look to it, whereas now it just looks different. It kind of comes flush with the door. It's a much more abrupt stop. It doesn't have that sweeping line to it. I definitely don't like it as much. We also are seeing what looks like a blocking of the bottom of the air intake. It's a much less pronounced air intake. It definitely looks like it's blocked up, and they just have some stuff hiding in that air intake. And again, that's probably for looks trying to throw us off. But then the side rocker, that sill area, you can see where it's changed and it's flared out more so for the rear quarter panel. I don't know if that's just the angle, but you can definitely see that. In addition, you're actually seeing the side areas. So above the rear quarter panel, you can see what looks like might be a cutout. It's a black tarp looking area. We don't believe that's anything. FVS has even said that he thinks this is just for looks, that they're just trying to throw us off because, again, it doesn't go along with the previous photos we've seen of the C8 mid-engine Corvette. Now, as we move on to the back of the car, this again may be where also some of the biggest changes have happened. And what we are seeing is how blocky the rear looks. Again, this could have a lot to do with the camo though. They've made this huge blocky back and it really changes the look of the rear. Now, I will say that you can see the square tip exhaust. Now, this goes with what we're possibly seen before, which is the square taillights. So we could be square on square. And again, with this boxy back, not 100% sure what I think about this, but again, the camo changes a lot. Now you can see they've also covered a large rear diffuser in the back as well. So as we take a look at some of these more photos, you can see that the car just has a little bit different of a stance, a look in the rear. And again, this camouflage can do wonders to how our eye perceives the C8 mid-engine Corvette, but it just does look a little bit different. And from what a lot of the people have said, they're not really sure where it's coming from. Some people even hinted that this could be a Z06. I don't think it is. They said that it could be the wider rear end like a Z06 has. But again, with us not even having the base out yet, I highly doubt this is the case. I did want to mention it was pretty cool. We saw a photo where the C8 Corvette was actually driving down the highway. We saw an American flag in the foreground. So it was pretty cool, kind of a America kind of photo. So it was really neat to see that, but we definitely saw that the car was driving around town, and it's nice again to just see the car out and about to show us that we are still seeing the car and that it is eventually going to be debuted to us as the next generation of Corvette. Now, the very last thing we're going to talk about is the spoiler. And again, this could be covered, this could be changed. They can completely change the way we perceive the spoiler, but it does look a lot larger. It looks a lot thicker, and it just doesn't look like it flows as well either. But again, this whole back of the car is changed because of the camo. So I'm hoping that we can get some more photos down the road of the car under less camo, especially for the rear. As I've told you guys, the one part of this car that I'm not 100% sold on really is the rear of the car. It does look pretty boxy. A lot of people have kind of commented saying it kind of looks like the Camaro, and we've talked about this before, and I kind of agree in some aspects. Now, some of the 3D renders give me a better view of the car at different angles, and I feel like it maybe changes that perception a little bit, but overall it is definitely the one thing, the one caveat I have for this car going forward. I'm hoping that it will have its own look, and maybe sitting a little bit lower than a Camaro and being a little bit more aggressive will change my thoughts on that. Now guys, what are your thoughts on this car? What do you guys think about these new released photos? Do you guys really like them? I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to have some comments about the rear, but remember, as I said, the camo, it really does change a lot of aspects, but that spoiler, and again, back to the exhaust, again, not a huge fan of the exhaust look, but there's a lot of things that could change before production actually happens. But what is your guys' thoughts? I'd love to converse with you guys as always. I hope you guys found this video interesting and informational. If you did, please hit that like button. It would be much appreciated. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. We have all types of new information coming up. I'm actually doing a really cool video series with the Audi R8 at the beginning of the year. We have a huge project that we're going to be working on that. So again, if you guys enjoyed the video, want to see all that new content, hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell notification so you guys are notified as soon as I release my latest video. And as always, you guys take care, have a great day, and I'll see you next video.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own. You know I'm too generous.